Smoking is not allowed on site whatsoever, only in designated smoking areas.
No alcohol or drugs, even on prescribed drugs. Then we would expect the site manager to be aware of that, because some could potentially affect people working at height, for example. So if they smell alcohol on anybody, they'll be invited to leave the site.
The rules on smoking alcohol are no smoking at all, and obviously no drinking of alcohol either before or on site.
Well, it doesn't affect me because I don't smoke.
You should know what you should be able to lift. There's a certain way to lift as well, back straight, knees bent. If it's too heavy, then you can always call someone to help you.
Manual handling is not to take risks yourself, to lift correctly and try and always use mechanical aids.
Tidy workplace is a safe place. If you keep your workplace nice and clean and tidy, you'll reduce your trip hazards. You've got a nice place to work in.
I do like to keep a clean site, and it makes the job twice as easy if you haven't got to mess around on stuff. You can see where you're going and basically turn a good job out easier for the sake of tidying up.
You need to bag up your rubbish and dispose of it on a daily basis. Make sure that it's done so in accordance with centre management rules and that there are adequate waste receptacles for them.
During the course of a day, especially if you're working at a height, mobile phones should not be used at all. Feel free to use them at breaks and dinner times, but on site, it's a no-no.
You've got to have a proper light to see what you're doing, and obviously to minimise risk and hazards.
It's essential to have good quality lighting on site, so you can actually see where you're going. Same again for trips, falls, and same again, just make it a safer workplace and easier. The better the light, the more easier it is to do the job.
Where mechanical vehicles are required on site, they should be their movement should be segregated from pedestrian movement. So wherever possible, make sure that the vehicles being moved are actually being moved in a safe manner and in a safe working area.
Yeah, there should be welfare facilities on site as well. You've got to be able to have a cup of tea, toilet, wash your hands, keep clean when you go for your breaks.
We need to have a permit to work to ensure that any hazardous work is actually controlled, and that not only the site manager knows what he should be doing on what activity is being undertaken, but also for the subcontractor who knows what control measures need to be in place to actually carry out the work safely.
Make sure that everything's safe, the area you work's cordoned off so the public are not passing through, especially if you're working above the public. Don't want anything falling onto the public, so it should all be cordoned off and signposted properly.
I would say it's probably the most important thing, because how can you expect someone to do the job if you haven't prepared them for it? If you don't make them aware of the problems and tell them how to avert them, how do you expect them to come on site and not have problems? So you've got to train them.
The initial induction on site is important. It's important that the operative listens and takes in, and if he doesn't understand, ask questions. And when he first gets to site, take the time, have a look round and make themselves aware of all the dangerous areas on site, the entrance and exits from site in an emergency. So all the things to do with health and safety.
Me personally, I'd have it in my mind the rest of my life if someone had a serious accident or died because of my own fault or my own stupidity.
And we won't tolerate people who don't take it seriously.
Building sites are dangerous places and you can't ever afford to relax.
Mostly common sense.
Thank you for taking time to watch this health and safety induction for the shop fitting and interior contracting sector. It has been designed as an induction tool to make you aware of the hazards associated with shop fitting and interior contracting. It does not, nor was it ever intended to represent in detail those hazards which are dealt with in specific training programs which are provided by the Shop Fitting Independent Training Forum. These include asbestos awareness, control of substances hazardous to health, fire safety awareness, hand-arm vibration, manual handling, and safe working at height. This is not an exhaustive list. If there's any doubt about these or other health and safety issues, you should consult your supervisor or your employer. Remember, you have an obligation to yourself and your colleagues to be safe at work. If in doubt, don't do it.